if you're walking up to a lady that you fancy,
Yes.
you know, you need to speak her language.
Exactly.
Hey, are you also from here?
Yeah.
Commonality. You know, break down a barrier. You know, say, no, I'm from the school. Da, da, da. Break down another barrier. You know, those. So it's the same thing when you're sitting across a client. I mean, for me, I'm a procurement person. So when a supplier is speaking to me, creative, yes, I need to understand it, but talk to what matters to me.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
So, this person gets what I need.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sanbonani Dumelang. Welcome to the Ebozi Show. My name is Thabo Moloi. You know what it is. This is the show where we sit down with real industry trailblazers to give you some insights, wisdom, and knowledge to help you in your career and your business to grow and go to the next level. I am so stoked with today's guest, a very good friend of mine, a guy that I admire and look up to, who's just an all-round superstar. He studied at the University of Pretoria, where he completed a BCom supply chain management, and then started his career at Reckitt Benckiser, and then moved over to Sasol, where he was a graduate and moved on to a role where he was in procurement, helping manage the contracts for Sasol and procurement, and from there moved his career over to Unilever, the big blue U, where he was an assistant procurement manager for the marketing services at Unilever. But his road didn't stop there. He continued to grow from strength to strength, moving to SAB Miller, where he was a procurement specialist for the marketing and sales team. And of course, SAB got taken over by AB InBev. And now he's a regional procurement manager for media, ad production, brand events and activation, and he's traveled all around Africa doing amazing things. Like I said, a superstar, a powerhouse, a good friend of mine, Mpumelelo Mzizi. My guy.
Hey, brother man. Yo.
Welcome to the show.
Wow. Okay.
How's that for an intro?
Wow, yeah. Oh, unexpected, man. Yes. All right.
Yeah, man. But, young guy.
Hey.
But a young guy who's
turning 31 is not young, man.
It's young, relatively.
According to Youth League, yeah.
Look, most of the years you're still gonna live ahead of you, right?
Yeah, true.
So in a lot of people's books, you're still young.
Nah, true.
You know,
Yeah.
but having achieved a lot in a short space of time, you know.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I mean, there's certain things, there's some milestones I think I'm happy about.
Yeah.
The achievement factor, I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you still feel like there's room to grow.
Yeah, like I'm still waiting for that. Yeah, I see now there.
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, people I admire who are doing well in their careers are people who are never comfortable. You know, feel like there's still a lot to do. You know, even though the CV is impressive and I've worked in big organizations and I've done, a lot of cool stuff, but that's just like a small part that they feel like there's still a big role to play, you know? Okay. Is that the same mentality with you?
So I would say the approach, there's a bigger plan.
Yeah.
And these all small pieces are just building on that, So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could say, I've got this ambition to work for a very smart entrepreneur.
Okay.
And the multinational stuff is me saying I've worked in organizations that have done it globally.
Yeah.
How do you take that and then say, okay, fine, let's take South African small business.
Yes.
Take it global, just like Sab Miller.
Yes.
Became,
Yeah.
So
and that's an interesting philosophy, something that I personally also am trying to do.
Yeah.
Having worked in big corporates, where you learn quite a lot.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about yourself.
Yes.
But more importantly, there are a lot of skills that you pick up that, you feel you can apply in a way that has impact to smaller businesses, But it's a challenge.
Yeah, I know. Because there's a lot of adaptation that needs to take place.
Exactly. Yeah. And the skills gap also, where you find that, in big corporate spaces, you're working with people who are well knowledgeable, well educated, a lot of experiences, where a small business, that's all they've known.
Exactly. And I think also in a big business, you've got the beauty of having different skill sets.
Yeah.
All at a similar level. And also, level of engagement,
Yeah.
There's less time spent on first finding each other.
Yeah.
And then moving.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with abantu at different stages, you first have to say, okay, fine, let's find each other, and then we move. We move forward, which becomes a bit of a challenge because time, it's a challenge.
And it's a skill. I mean, to be able to connect with people on different levels. Yeah. It's quite a challenging thing to do. But when you get it right, it opens up like a lot of doors for you.
Magic.
I always tell people like, get the soft skills right first. The technical stuff you can learn. You can download a course and within a week you can master a few things. But the softer personal skills, that's the game changer.
EQ. I mean, so me and my cousins, we've got this group that we have,
Yeah.
And a conversation was had. So one of my cousins, he's asking a lecturer, why are you asking such a stupid question in his point of view?
Okay.
And because I think the question is a certain profession, an art or a science.
A science, okay.
Yes. So one of my other cousins, different field totally, is like, there's a difference between art and science. You get a lot of graduates, new people, abantu that have studied the science. But ungaifunda and you learn something.
Yeah.
But if you don't know how to apply it in a very creative and problem-solving way,
yes,
it's purely a science. It's textbook.
Yeah.
You need to get into the real environment and make it an art now.
Yes.
I learned this and that, this business process, this, that. But when I get here, does it make sense, or do you need to dissect it and apply it?
Yes.
For the condition that you're operating in.
Yeah.
That's the art.
So
science,
Hey, but how do we get the art? Because, we go to school and we taught how to study and we taught how to pass.
Yes.
And we think that warrants our ability to do a job. But the reality is that's far from it.
So I think, I listened to a few podcasts, and I think the challenge that we have is we're being taught to get content, information, store, regurgitate.
Yeah.
And this is what you're looking for, so you regurgitate that answer. Where we're not teaching understanding and problem solving.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, the former FNB CEO. So I listen to his wherever he speaks. If there's a podcast, I listen to it. And he said something which when he's raising his kids, he wants to raise them as problem solvers.
Sure, that's
because
powerful.
Essentially, regardless of what data is in front of you, if there's a problem, you read the data or whatever this information set says, you can solve problem. Where what we're being taught, society, not necessarily in schooling environments, but you're being taught this data answers this question.
Yes. Yes.
You can't be creative in solving certain things, and I think that's where maybe the problem is.
Yeah.
You get people in school, they've learned to take information in, history, cram the whole textbook.
Eish.
Izopuma something you study is going to come out, and because you've crammed the whole textbook, you're going to pass. And it's not a case of, do you understand what you're actually learning?
Yes.
Can you apply it?
That's the trick.
In a manner that is different, but using the principles of XYZ.
Yeah.
Apply it in this space.
Exactly.
In a creative way, in a manner that makes sense in this space. And I think one of the opportunities, so when I left the Big U and moving into Miller at that point, so I had known AB InBev had made the bid to buy. I was like, okay, SAB has always been a company I want to work for.
Yeah.
And the Africa experience that I had at Unilever, it was on paper.
Yeah.
Every experience I had with the guys in Nigeria was via email, via calls, Skype. Miller, they said, look, blank canvas.
Sure.
We need this thing done. You seem to have done it for Unilever. Can you do it here? You'll travel, you'll go and see places. And I'm like, for me, now that's where the real learning is.
And at Unilever, did you develop like a strategy? Like what is that thing that they were looking for?
So strategy, being able to say, I see this information, this is how things are. Let's tighten it up. Let's bring some order into it. And so this is how we're going to do things. Let's build. What's your first year plan?
Yeah.
It's okay, we're going to bring things together, tighten them up. Second year, let's advance and move forward. So it was that 3-year plan that I built there.
Okay.
So now in this context, it was literally each country was doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And literally their own thing. So the category I had, things were just all over the place. They said, look, blank canvas. Whatever you did at Unilever, if you think it's going to work, do it. If you don't think it's going to work, find something that's going to work. As long as you do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Right?
And at Unilever, I mean, you it's a procurement role.
Yes.
And you've got the supply chain qualification.
Yes.
But you're walking into something that was there.
Yeah.
So you're walking into a role that had previously been occupied.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you then come in and sort of redefine that in a way that, you know, makes sense to you, but also creates real business opportunity for the big organization, you know?
So I think one thing I've learned, EQ. What you're saying, soft skills, EQ is very important. You achieve more in life, professionally and outside of a professional environment, through EQ. I'll answer the question, but before that,
sure.
When I joined Sasol as a grad, like my name, Mpumelelo Mzizi.
Yes.
Now imagine I was like, I'm going into an environment where it's Afrikaans. You know, will these people be able to pronounce my name Mpumelelo? I'm like, probably not. So I'm like, I'm the one who needs information from them.
Sure.
So if they can't pronounce my name, they're gonna butcher it. I'm gonna feel offended.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna be afraid to butcher the name, so they might not even speak to me because hey, who's that guy?
Yes.
So let me just not speak to him. Let me speak to a guy who is easier to call. So I'm like, no, call me by my second name. You know? So hey, I want to be like, hey, why are you letting these people call you? So I'm like, no, I'm the one who needs information from them.
Yes.
There will be no knowledge transfer if a person is afraid to engage you because they don't wanna kind of butcher your name and you know. So I was like, no. I need the information.
Yeah.
Use my second name so we can engage. Knowledge transfer. You learn a lot when people can speak to you. You learn. Unilever, same thing. I got there, new environment, obviously family being in KZN and things like that, but professionally, new environment. First things first, you get there, what are people doing? Okay, this is what people are doing right now. It's okay. When I got there, or you get somewhere, you don't come with your own views and opinions. You understand?
Yeah.
Because at some point in time, these same people that you now into business partner,
yes,
they need to feel that you're not coming and saying what you're doing was wrong. This is right.
Yeah.
So I've taken time to see what you guys are doing, how you're doing it. Have you thought about doing it this way? Have you thought about doing it that way? So I think for me, Unilever being the first time I business partnered marketing as a function, because previously I was buying equipment.
Okay.
So here I am in an environment, Sasol, it's very technical. Then I had to go business partner people who are creatives. And then things are very fluid. There's no, you know, a bolt is a bolt is a bolt. A valve is a valve is a valve. Here it's creative, it's an idea. How far does it stretch, you know? So there's a thing of, I'm coming from a different background. Yes, in my supply chain degree, I did marketing until third year. Okay. So I had a background of what this kind of thing is, you know? Okay. But the background I had in terms of professionally, it's equipment.
Okay.
So I'm like, you guys are creatives. I'm coming from a technical environment. Let's try see this thing from many angles.
Yes.
You know? Many angles, and then we get what works best.
Yeah.
I always say, you find people like the All Blacks when they look at how to further advance their team. They look at things that the NBA is doing or things that NFL is doing to incorporate into rugby.
Wow.
Same thing professionally. You might do something in a very consumer-focused company. Yeah. But you take a learning from aircraft manufacturer, or a car manufacturer. There's this thing that they do there well.
How can we take that?
Let's adopt it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I come from a very technical environment, so I don't understand the pictures, and what I understand is process.
Yes.
Can I learn the process of how you do things? And then obviously, when people tell you the process, they themselves are kind of repeating process. And then when you mention, don't you think we can make this thing a bit more efficient here? Can we see? Because now they're thinking in process. Yes. My comfort zone, process. Okay, maybe this and that. So you're not changing what they're doing, but you're just changing the order in which things are taking place. So it was that. So that was essentially, and I lived on the floor of the people that I was business partnering.
And that's what helped unlock those opportunities.
Yeah, because then you understand when a person speaks like, when he speaks a certain way, no, this person is not angry. This is how they communicate. Become a familiar face. When you're making a point, they're like, oh, okay. Because you're not a person who's far removed from another department. Because when people think procurement, cost cutting, they don't value quality of whatever we're getting, you know. But when you sit with people, you spend time with them, like, no, this one gets us.
Sure.
So automatically when they say, no, Thabo gets me. When Thabo proposes something, it's easier to accept.
Sure.
It's like 100%. A horoscope. A horoscope will always tell you the good stuff first. Like, I know, they're right. They're right. And then they tell you the bad stuff.
Yeah.
But once you've accepted the good stuff, it's hard to say they're wrong here.
Exactly.
So Thabo gets me. Thabo gets me. So when Thabo says, have you thought about doing it this way? Maybe Thabo's got a point. Yeah. But if Thabo doesn't get me, whatever Thabo says won't land.
It's going to be difficult for me to accept.
Yeah.
It's the principle of like, winning people
Yes.
and influencing people.
That's it.
Like for me, I'm obsessed at the moment with empathy.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing a whole lot of research, focusing on empathy, because I feel like that's the game changer.
is.
Like what you're saying is like bang on the money. If you can connect with people, if people can relate to you, then it's easy for you to get the information that you need. So many people struggle in business and they feel like, they're banging their heads on walls.
Yeah.
Because they're not taking the time to really hear and connect and understand people. If you're not speaking my language, but you expect me to speak your language, then you've missed the point completely.
And it's funny, sometimes as guys, generally speaking, I know the show is for all genders, races.
Sure.
You learn that very early on in life, no?
Yeah.
In the sense that if you're walking up to a lady that you fancy, you need to speak her language.
Exactly.
Hey, are you also from here?
Yeah.
Commonality. Break down a barrier. Say, I'm from the school. Break down another barrier. Those. So it's the same thing when you're sitting across a client. I mean, for me, I'm a procurement person. So when a supplier is speaking to me, creative, yes, I need to understand it, but talk to what matters to me.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, this person gets what I need.
Exactly.
Commonality.
And you have to do your research up front.
Yes.
So like what you're saying in terms of, going to a girl that you like, you're gonna ask around.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out, okay, who are her friends, who does she hang out with, so that I can get more intel. Because the more intel I have, the better I can strategize.
Yeah.
So a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of career professionals, they're not doing the pre-work of really finding out about the industry.
Yeah.
Finding out, if I've got a meeting with the procurement manager, and I'm pitching, I want to get their business, I need to understand what they're looking for. Not about what I can do, because what if what I can do was not what they're looking for?
Audience.
100%.
Know your audience. I mean,
Yeah.
and I always tell suppliers that walk in here, hey, Mzizi, can we have a meeting? Like, we can have a meeting.
Yeah.
Send me profile.
Yeah.
So I can understand, first and foremost, with all due respect, have I seen this before?
Yeah.
And will it change my life and obviously the team that I business partner their life, firstly. Some don't, because they feel like, no, we need to meet face to face. I'm like, but my friend, time is very valuable. So I need to see first.
And I mean, in the times we live in, you got to utilize all the channels that you have to work more efficiently.
Yes.
Can you send an email? Can you call?
WhatsApp. I tell people, send me that thing on PDF on WhatsApp. When I get home, maybe over a beer or something,
100%.
I'll open and look at it,
Definitely. Last night, I finalized a business transaction on Instagram, direct messaging.
Look at it.
So I mean, if you're a business person and you're not where the world is today in terms of technology, then you're gonna get left behind because the world is moving very quickly.
Getting left behind.
Yeah.
And there's still some businesses now. So you ask a person, send me a deck, profile, some send. I read it, I'm like, okay, I like what I'm seeing, because obviously they need to showcase their work or their product. Perfect. They come meet with me, they're talking creative stuff, and I'm like, I understand if there was a creative person in this room, you will show them that you're capable. Perfect. But now you need to speak to me, How can we as procurement help our business partners stretch their investment?
Sure.
Stretch it. So you tell me, you're the guy in the market, you're the guy that should be at the forefront of saying this is an innovation this business would need, so that when I come up to a person that I'm business partner, I'm like, yo, I met this supplier and they've got this product, like, you need to see them. First of all, they've spoken to me in terms of it won't be more expensive. If it is more expensive, the value and returns you're going to get from implementing this or using this service are exponentially more than what you already had.
Okay.
So there's that element. Audience, speak to me. There's certain things that need to tick my boxes.
Yeah.
If they tick them, sanity checks. Tick. Okay.
And if you don't know, there's nothing wrong with asking up front.
Asking.
To say, yo, Mzi, we've got this meeting in a couple of weeks' time. Just to make sure that I've covered all the bases, can you just give me a quick brief of some of the stuff that you'll be looking for me to address in the meeting? Yeah. Just top line, 2 or 3 points.
Easy.
And that already gives you a framework of what you need to work with and how you need to work,
Now imagine if you had that information or the opportunity to ask a person, if you're going for an interview, hey, what kind of things would you like me to address in my interview? Imagine if a person gave you that up front, or a lady you fancy gave you that information up front. But in life, it doesn't work that way. You need to say, okay, fine, let me take the time to do the research. So when I show up, this person like, hey man, damn.
Yeah.
This person knows my business. They get me. They're speaking to what I need. I just need to now make sure that the person I'm business partnering sees the value that I see.
And you mentioned like something so critical around coming to me with something that I haven't seen. You know what I mean? For me, that speaks to knowing the competitive space that you work in. Do you know your competitors? And do you know what they're doing?
Yes.
You know, there's so much that we can learn from our competitors, but we're so honed in to ourselves and our businesses, and we think we're it. We think we're the ones with the cutting edge, and we're doing the best.
Yeah.
But if you lift your head and see what other players are doing, that should inform you of where you need to be. Yeah. But more importantly, how do you then differentiate yourself or step change, or like you say, offer something that can bring incremental return on any marketing investment?
It's crazy. I actually had a session today where we were doing a pitch, so like a tender process. And one thing I was thinking while this thing was going on is, whoever doesn't win or the people that don't win, because there's only one winner, I wonder if they will find out by saying, okay, we know when something should be taking place. So they know when this thing should be taking, so they need to be like, hey, has this thing taken place yet?
Yes.
If they lost, what made these people win? So you go and see what your competitor did to win. You know?
Exactly.
So you can say, oh, I can do better, but maybe I didn't position it well. Or, no, they're doing better. They're really doing better, then you up your game, you know?
Yeah.
People don't do it enough.
100%. I mean, it's a philosophy of learning.
Yeah.
You know, that's so critical. You know, I always look at like physics, and you look at guys like Isaac Newton. You know, how does it make sense that this apple is falling from the tree, but the moon isn't? The moon isn't being drawn to Earth by its gravity. What kind of forces are allowing this balance to take place?
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like in business as well, whatever industry you work in, there's certain forces at play that keep the certain equilibrium. And if you don't understand these forces and how this game is played, and you come in with a mindset of thinking that you know, you're going to get hammered. You know, it's like this. If you don't know, you don't know. But at least have the humility to want to know.
Yeah. I always ask people, and so small business owners, have you ever tried getting service from your competitor?
Yeah.
But why? Why would I go support? You're not supporting their business. You're just trying to find out how different their customer experience is to yours.
Yeah. That's it.
So it's a different customer experience. Then you say, okay, fine. Am I doing better? Am I doing worse in terms of customers? Then how do you need to evolve your customer experience to either match or beat your competitor?
Yeah.
No one. I mean, if I'm Joe Soap and I've got a company, and I walk into your company who is a competitor, I sit down. Let's say it's a restaurant, and I sit down and I have some food. That experience.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. If I enjoyed this, I didn't enjoy that. If I was this person, I would have done X, Y, Z. Then you go back to your own place and say, okay, fine. So what is a consumer thinking when they walk into mine? Are they having a better experience than what I have somewhere else?
Sure.
Or are they having a better experience here? And then maybe there's some, I always say, you learn two things in every encounter in life. You learn how to do things and how not to do things.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So a bad example is a good example of a bad example. Like, you see bad people, you're like, I know what not to do.
Yes.
Then you see good people, you're like, I know what to do. So if you see a bad experience, there you are, you're having your food at a restaurant, and you see a waiter or a waitress treating a customer badly, then you need to know, whoa, I need to make sure this doesn't happen at my restaurant. You know?
Exactly. Like,
how are my waiters and waitresses treating my, you know?
100%. Yeah.
So it's those small things.
So small, and they make a huge difference. Like similar story. I mean, I always tell people, you know, a lot of people have to-do lists, which is great. You need to have a to-do list, but at the same time, you need to have a stop-doing list. You know, there are very few people I know that have a stop-doing list.
Yeah.
You know, we got these lists. Okay, in a day, I need to knock these emails. I need to set these appointments. I need to call this client. I need to finalize this report.
Yeah.
But in everything that you're doing, what are the things that are hindering you from growing? Or what are the things that you've done in a similar way that you haven't researched how to do better?
Yeah.
You know, what are the things that you're doing that are stealing your time? You know, do you have a stop doing list? And it goes back to what you were saying around the pitches that don't win. What are the things that they need to stop doing in order for them to start winning? Yeah. You know, but I'm curious. I mean, you're a guy that listens to a lot of guys coming to pitch, you know, for business. You know, and I like what you said. Obviously, working with a lot of guys in the creative space, guys are thinking about like wow factors and the biggest and the brightest, but they're not paying attention to the numbers. You know, what kind of real monies can this bring? What kind of real feet in door that we can count as warm bodies can this deliver? You know, and I just want to find out, obviously, the importance of that and what that means to you, and from a business perspective, wearing this hat of creative, but at the same time understanding the numbers and what they mean for a person that you're pitching to. You know, how important is that? And to your experience, how have you seen it played out in boardrooms?
Yeah. So let me start just to follow up on the stop.
Yeah.
So there's this framework, this organization, you know, that I've been blessed to work for, where they say stop, start, continue.
Okay.
It's a feedback, you know. So your leadership, your line manager will say, here's feedback. Stop, start, continue. That's what you need to focus on.
Okay.
The things you should stop doing, the things you should start doing, and the things you should continue doing because you're doing them well. Right. So if you bring that onto an entrepreneur's space, customer survey, nothing fancy. Stop, start, continue. As a business, what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to stop doing? What should I continue doing because I'm doing it well? Stop, start, continue. Then you know, focus areas. I stop this, I start doing this, and I continue doing because I'm doing it well. Simple feedback. Coming back to the pitches and you know how framing certain things. So I think it's very important. I mean, I always say audience. You need to understand who is listening or who you kind of selling to, right? From a procurement perspective, one thing I've noticed is sometimes some people are so eager to please, and you know, promise people the moon and the stars. The people listening aren't stupid. You know, because I mean, they have done this before, they've seen it before. So some people will propose things, they're like, oh, this is really amazing. And then they say, yeah, this is how we think we're going to apply it. And then you're like, but you've just told me that, just an example, you've just told me that there will be a Jay-Z and we're going to bring Eminem and what, and then we're taking them to Nigeria. Then you say, okay, fine, but does it really matter if you bring all those people? Not that Nigeria doesn't resonate with Jay-Z or whatever, but it's saying what you're proposing, does it work for what we need to do? Scale, and even the return on the money that you're investing. So the return on the marketing investment in this specific case. You will spend a lot of money getting what you get when a person is proposing you. Then you ask yourself, could I have used some of that money in a different way to get the same result or more? You know, so you find people they propose solutions that are over and above the requirement, and the person on the receiving end is this is what
they overpitch.
They overpitch. And because they overpitch, it's thinking I would really love that, but what I told you I need is this.
Exactly.
You know, and then the person who answers the need, it's like you get what I need. Because you understood what I was saying.
Exactly. It's like seeing a pretty girl that you like for the first time, and then going to Browns to buy a wedding ring. And then you're meeting the girl for the first time, and then you are on your knees.
You know,
like you've there's so many steps that you've jumped.
Where answer the need. This person gets me. I'm willing to stick with this person, and we try to get to where maybe the other person said I could go.
Exactly. And another thing for me that's frustrating is that, you know, people are transactional in their thinking. So I'm thinking about now. How can I get this deal now? How can I make money now? Whereas, I mean, you know, in your experience in big corporations like SAB or Unilever, whatever, you're looking to build relationships with your vendors. You're looking for someone that I'm not going to do a once-off thing or once-off events, but someone who's reliable, who, if you can prove yourself on a small scale, then we can grow together.
We can grow you.
You know, and it works better that way because you get to understand the company ethos better. And because we're growing this thing together, we get to share learnings, and it becomes a much more fruitful relationship over the long term. But like a lot of people are thinking, how can I get this business now? And that's why they're trying to throw everything at it that doesn't even make sense.
Everything down. I mean, I always say, as a procurement person, I always say, if I ask you a question, how do you get to that number? And you tell me what I consider superficial stuff, the cosmetics, No. Let's come back to the operations. What are the input costs that give you that number?
Yes.
If a person can't tell me very clearly, I'm thinking, this guy is disrespecting me, thinking he's going to take advantage of me as a professional and sell me something that might be above value.
Yeah.
Right? So automatically, our engagement is, I don't trust this person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if a person has understood their numbers, I mean, it's business, so you need to make profit here and there. So understand your numbers. So this is how I get to my costs.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, okay, this person knows his business. So they're not selling me something that, above value.
Exactly. And I feel like it's you gotta have a firm grip on the big picture. So you gotta at least know what the big picture is. But what you're saying is 100% correct in terms of having another firm grip on the detail. Yeah. Right. This is the pie in the sky. This is what it looks like. But this is the detail, the granular detail that helps us get there. But often I see entrepreneurs make this mistake where they have one pitch for everyone. All right. So because this pitch has worked for this company and it's worked for this company, and maybe it works for a company that has very substandard metrics that they measure their activities or whatever return they're looking for. But you got to be able to customize your pitch based on the company or person that you're pitching to. Their needs matter more than yours. Yeah. And if you can't meet their needs, then be okay to walk away. Rather than jeopardize a future relationship. Because you might not be there now, but because you want to pitch at that level, you can jeopardize a future for yourself that could have been much more beneficial had you had waited,
I've seen people where they really want a chance. Can I get a chance, a seat at the table? I'll propose what my solution is. And then I'm like, are you sure?
Ish.
And I'm like, and I'll be like, are you sure? Because one thing I can do is I'll ask, are you sure?
Yeah.
Because it's big business.
Yeah.
Big businesses, they don't want to spend money on other people's school fees. You must be ready-made, you must 100%. Be ready. They're done paying school fees. They're done paying school fees. So I'll ask people, are you sure? And it's me saying, make sure you're ready. Because when I put you in front of these people and you do not match the capability standard that they have, best believe, number one, they'll be like, Mzizi, you're a person who doesn't even have the capabilities. My reputation. Your reputation is jeopardized. Secondly, they'll be like, I've never seen such a bad proposal from a company ever. And then that round, that word rather, does the rounds. So now imagine you've improved as a business. You come back a year and a half later. Hey, but now Mzizi, why are you including them? Aren't these guys that once did this and that and that? It's late.
Exactly.
Because you wanted to do something that maybe you weren't ready for. And sometimes we're like, just put me in front, I'm going to win. Without saying, am I ready? Not that you mustn't push yourself, but it's that thing of, are you ready, capability-wise, to say, should these people say I am bad and I don't meet their standard, to take it on the chin and say, if I was that bad, I might not be given another opportunity. Because I imagine the person, like me, Mzizi, you're bringing people to our faces that can't meet our capabilities. Then I'm thinking, but I asked these guys and they told me they were ready. Yeah. So will I put my name out there again for them?
Chances are not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But had they said, let me be honest, let me do introspection. As a business, are we ready? Do we have the systems to support a large business like this? Maybe not. Let's cut our teeth here. We grow for that big fish.
Yeah.
We grow for that big fish.
Exactly.
So, and sometimes it's a thing of, okay, maybe I'm not ready for a pitch, but could you just maybe organize a meeting for me so I can meet these people and hear what...
Network and learn and understand the language that goes on in these spaces.
Yes.
See, that's powerful.
Yes. So the small businesses, they don't see the meet and greet or have a conversation as an opportunity to learn. Big business have done and failed, and they found better, smarter ways to do certain things in most cases. As a small business, you come in there, you believe you can supply these people with a service or a product. You don't know if you're ready or you're not. Hey, can I just have a conversation? You have a conversation to understand what their problems are, those kind of things. Then you're like, okay, Mr. Procurement, I hear you. Would you be able to, obviously, a few weeks down the line when you've done some research, I just want to have a meeting with a person that does this and that and that, you know. They have a meeting with that person, they do this and that and that. Network number one, created over and above the person who's from procurement. Because now, there's a demand and supply thing, right?
Yes.
Demand is created by the end users, the people that need the service or the product. From a procurement perspective, I'm there to ensure that the people that need something done get it.
Yes.
So you must be able to say, there's a person who can create demand for me in this business. And then obviously I'm the supplier as a business owner.
Sure.
Yeah, so then you've got a lever to create demand.
Demand, yeah.
Because if this person says, I believe Mzizi can actually do this thing for me.
Okay.
Demand.
Sure.
You might not have it in the beginning, the capabilities to warrant creating that demand. But conversations, it's okay. How can I understand SAB, Unilever, Reckitt Benckiser, Sasol? This is what they need. Oh, okay, fine. They've done this before. They haven't done this. All right, cool. Journey. You go to, and I always say it, I wonder how often the people that don't win certain tenders go to experience a service. In my environment, it's a consumer environment, right? So if it's an event that a person was tendering for and they didn't win, I wonder if they go
when they experience
it.
The person who did win, what they delivered.
Yes. So then, as a small business, you can say, oh, okay, so that business did this and that and that. Can I do it? If yes, I can. Tick, I can.
Sure.
I need to show these people how I can do it, or maybe even do it better. I can't do it yet. Okay, fine. How do I then learn how to do it? The journey.
Yeah.
People come, say, no, I think I can. I do events. I mean, so me and some friends of mine, or my friends, used to throw parties in varsity, and I used to help them. I was that guy. I happened to live with them, and I mean, we used to use our rent money. Very responsible. Use our rent money to throw parties. They make money. You pay the rent. You make profits. You know. Sometimes, as young people, you spend it. Sometimes you reinvest for the next event. And being on this side of the world now, as in working for corporates and people throwing events, I was like, no. I see a lot of people saying, we do events. But I'm like, it's a different kind of events. Because you do events, abantu, they come to a club or a Shisanyama vibe and you have a great thing. And then you think a corporate is going to buy into it. A corporate is all about data.
Exactly,
what are people buying? Who are those people? How many people? Are they the right kind of people? Which is the most important part. Are they the right kind of people? So
because you can have a lot of people.
You can have 1,000
people.
the
wrong kind of people, then what's the point?
Exactly. You know, if I as a big corporate, I'm looking for a certain type of people. You've got 10,000 people. But of those 10,000, only 500 of them are what I'm looking for. Yes, maybe these other people will buy what I need them to buy. But I'm looking for those because I know that if I capture those now, their value as a customer in their life is more valuable than a person who just bought me because I was a convenient situation there. But when I'm not there, they will opt for whatever they prefer because I don't speak to them. You know? So it's that long-term, hey, do I speak to these people's needs? Not yet. How do I position it? Oh yeah, no, this person said this is what they need to do. Okay, they've got these challenges in the market because supply or company X, Y is their competitor and they're doing things differently. Go to a competitor. Experience, if it's an experience, or experience their service.
That's powerful. I mean, you, as a business person, you got to understand the difference between an idea and an opportunity. Just because something is a good idea doesn't necessarily mean it's a great opportunity. And I think a lot of people get fixated on ideas. I got this great idea for this event. It's going to be amazing. You go and pitch it to someone who doesn't see the opportunity. You know, I feel like the starting point is the opportunity. And you mentioned something that's so critical around data. You know, businesses don't know what they don't know. They don't know their customers. They don't know what their customers like. So it's going to be very difficult for me to generate the demand for you if I don't have real tangible insights to offer. So the starting point is, one, how can I gather data? And it's not as complicated as people make it out to be. it's a matter of asking and keeping a record.
Yeah.
Someone comes and buys ikota from your place. You got to ask them, "Uhlalapi?"
Yeah.
You know, why are you buying ikota? If they come back again, why are you coming back? You know, what was your experience?
Yeah.
And that then informs you of the decisions you need to take to stop what needs to be stopped, start what needs to be started, and continue what works.
Yeah.
You know, but businesses aren't collecting data. You know, and they come and pitch or try and pitch to big businesses and fail.
Well, what can I get? Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? Yeah, no, hey, Mr. Client, I think this is what you're doing wrong. This is what people are saying out there.
Yeah.
This I can solve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blindsided as a client, you're thinking, are we really getting this thing wrong? I might not have a budget for you, but you know what? I'll make something available to test.
Yeah.
To test if what you're really telling me is true or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if I tested and it really, best believe, the next amount of money I have to put behind whatever service or product you're giving,
you're gonna get it.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Because clearly you showed me a blind spot that I had that no one else was telling me.
100%. And you know, something that you mentioned that's powerful is, you know, proving that you can walk before trying to sprint. You know, like, start with where you are and start small. But the important thing is for you to build the capabilities. You know, people want to be the biggest before they are the best. And I can't invest in you if you're not the best. If you're the best in a small scale, then I'm going to invest. But you're trying to be the biggest without proving that you're the best, then you've missed the mark completely.
Funny enough, so I was listening to a podcast last night. So I cut my own hair every Thursday.
Hey, join the club, save money.
Every day, yeah, you know what it is. So every Thursday, Sunday, I cut my hair. So when I'm cutting my hair, I listen to podcasts. And I was listening to a podcast from last year sometime, Gareth Cliff, interviewing Michael Yadan. Once again.
Yes.
And he said, you know, it's funny how startups, not all of them, some of them, want to start and do many things. You know? And it's like, if you look at big startups that have really, really got it right. Yeah. When Amazon started, they were a book.
Yeah, they were selling books online. 1999, one-man shop, Jeff Bezos.
What are they selling now?
Everything.
Exactly. They sold books. They sold them well, and everyone knew you're looking for a book. You can't get it at
what they've done is they've mastered that route to market.
Exactly.
All right. So that is the silver bullet. That is constant throughout everything.
Something.
Yeah.
Do it well. When you say, yeah, I've done it really well and I'm probably the best in this, what can I do that leverages what I've already built?
Exactly.
And you just add.
Yeah. I mean, to be quite honest, if AB InBev wanted to, they could probably make, you know, carbonated sugar beverages. They could probably make cool drinks and energy drinks and iced tea, you know. But why would they do that? They would lose their focus. They would compete in a market that they have no experience competing in, and take away from a core competency, which is beer. Yeah. Nobody knows beer like they do. Yeah. So if they get distracted by what seems like an opportunity, then they'll drop. And that's what entrepreneurs do, right? I start a business, and I feel like I need to diversify. I feel like there's an opportunity. Ooh. And this business is making money, you know, but now you're going to take away from something that is making money and risk it for something you don't know. Yeah. And even if you know, you might not know enough, and someone does it better. Exactly.
Right? So I think a lot of businesses do that. What do you call this thing? There's a book I once read by John Maxwell. Okay. Talent is never enough, or talent is not enough.
Sure.
And one thing that stood, I mean, I read this book when I was at university, so this is like plus 10 years ago. Yeah. And he said a lot of society or books, people in society, books, they tell you work on your weaknesses, And it's like, in this book, it's like, the reality is, if you score in your capabilities from 0 to 10, as a person, as a business, or whatever you are, right? If you are good at something, let's say you're a 7 out of 10. Let's say, so 70%, you're good at what you do. Yeah. You might not be a 9, so amazing, but you're good. If you put in the time, and you improve by 2 points, you're now a 9 out of 10. Yeah. If you're working on your weakness or capability and you're a 3 out of 10, you put in time. Mind you, it's a weakness, so you need to put in more time. Yeah. You improve it by 2, become a 5 out of 10. Are you winning?
No.
No.
Yeah.
So, specialize.
Yeah.
Do it very well.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do it really, really well, then you can branch out.
Exactly.
But small businesses, I need to do this thing. Then you try to do something, you're losing your focus on your core business, your core business.
Yeah.
You're trying to do something, and there just happens to be a person in the market who does it really well. It's their 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's even their 7 out of 10, but when it was your 3. You invest all this money from this thing that's making money for you into a 3 to get you to a 5, maybe to a 6. You're sinking money because that person will just do it better than you.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
And I think it also like speaks to when you're pitching as well. So know your strengths, but also know the strengths of the business you're pitching for.
Yeah.
You know, because if I know the strengths of this business, you know, and this business is an 8 out of 10, and I know that my strengths, if I partner with them, I can take them from an 8 to a 9. You know, chances are they're going to want to pay attention because winners know how to win, and they want to continue winning. So if you can help me continue winning, I want to do business with you. But if you're going to come with a mindset of saying, these are your weaknesses, I want to help you get better at your weaknesses. Yeah.
I've gotten this far with these weaknesses, man.
You know, so I think it's important to know your strengths. But if you're a business to business player, then know the strengths of the businesses and see if your services can actually help that business become stronger in their strengths.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think, it's podcast. I listen to podcasts a lot.
Yeah.
There's this podcast by Rabbi Daniel Lapin.
Okay.
It's Jewish.
All right.
So I've got this thing about the Jewish culture and religion.
Yes.
They just do things a certain way.
Yeah.
Islam, Judaism, they just do things a certain way. There's some discipline in what they do.
Sure, that's powerful.
There's a lot of discipline. I mean, if you just observe religion and culture in one, Judaism was Islam.
Yeah.
Right? But there's a discipline in what they do.
Yeah.
So this guy was saying something, and I'm loosely, kind of paraphrasing it. It's like in most Jewish communities, people don't try to do everything.
Yeah.
They do what they can very well.
Yeah.
And then they go find a person within their community who does something they need very well because they can't do it themselves. So if a person is building a house, they're like, I'm building a house, I can't build it myself. I'm going to go find the best architect. I'm going to go find the best carpenter. I'm going to go find the best whatever, Because everyone is a specialist in their own space.
Yes.
I'll have the best house.
Yeah.
I've got the best of this, the best of that, and the best of that. If I try to do it all myself, it just doesn't work that way.
Sure.
And there's a reason why large corporates have suppliers. I mean, Big U, where we were.
Yes.
The reality is they build brands.
Yeah.
They build brands. Your teas, your soaps, whatever it is, they build brands. They didn't do security.
No.
So they hired someone who just does security.
They can afford to.
They can afford to.
But they hire.
But that time and money spent doing security
distraction.
will get security to a 5. They need to focus on building brands to a 10.
Yeah.
So they bring on a person who's going to do security, right? I mean, in some companies, you get my previous Reckitt Benckiser.
Yes.
When we were there, they used a lot of partners to make some products, like all FMCG companies do.
Yes.
You never equip or install the equipment you need for peak. You install for what you need all the time, and then everything that is excess, you outsource, right?
Yeah.
So it's that thing of there are companies there who say, hey, I can do what you do, but I can't build brands. So how about I make what you need me to make, and you do what you do. You build brands. Same thing as companies.
Yeah.
You do something really well, and you do it bloody well.
Yeah.
And you've got a person who does something else well, but you need them to elevate your service, your execution to your end customer. So bring them on board. Don't try to do it yourself. Don't try, I need this service as well, so I'm going to pivot and add something into my business unit.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you believe you can be the best in this thing.
Yeah.
Just don't try it, because you're going to sink money.
That's it.
And time.
That's it. And time is that luxury that once it's gone, it's gone.
Back.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah,
you know. You touch on a very important thing about like also learning to collaborate.
Yeah.
You know, because if I scratch your back, then chances are when an opportunity comes in my line of work, you'll be able to also like refer me, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, collaboration is also just genuinely looking to add value without an expectation.
Yeah.
So even if you can't do much for me, but I know that if I'm genuinely adding value, one way or the other, it's going to come back to me.
Yeah.
Whether it's reputationally, whether it builds my brand equity, but it's important that we get into the habit of looking to create value for people, you know. So a lot of the times we want to do things and think about the monetary. What can I get back? And businesses then shoot themselves in the foot because without collaborating, no one will ever know who you are because you're too small. But if you build...
You become a piece of a big puzzle.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. And so collaboration is key, you know. The other thing is like that flexibility.
Yeah.
You know, where on the other end of the spectrum, you've gotten good at what you do and you've gotten big business and repeat business. But at the same time, you still need to be flexible to take advantage of other opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, you get entrepreneurs, because they've landed big contracts, they feel like, this is it, I can relax now, right? But you live in a competitive space.
Things change.
Things change.
Things
know?
change.
So in your space where you get confronted with different people and meeting new people all the time, you know, how is it important for guys that have won bids before to stay nimble and make sure when they come to the negotiation table, they're aware of other players in the market?
Yeah. The importance of that, Thabo, is crazy. It's, you know, it's some simple explanation that it's like votes. It's like votes. People grow, people get old, people die. You bring that now into a business context.
Yeah.
You're gonna get people that you speak to, let's say 18 to 24.
Yeah.
You know, if you're selling to this group of people, this population of people, they will like what you're giving them. I mean, if you go on campus, you know, a bank, you know, that's that bank account for students.
Yes.
You know, you get there, and then when people have moved past that stage of life, is this person that you're selling the service to, this client of yours, are they planning to chase these consumers and grow with them, or do they still want to speak to these same consumers? If they want to speak to the same consumers, you, as a person who's had this contract for whatever period of time, when the next wave of consumers within that space enters, do you have people in your team that understand how they think?
Yeah.
You know?
And even though you're in the same segment, understand how that segment fundamentally might be different from the previous segment in the similar space that you've served.
Exactly.
You know?
And then even your client, people move on, career-wise, you know, a person gets promoted. And so that person who's been promoted overlooks things. The decision maker now is a new young fellow. Can you speak and answer their questions? Or are you still speaking and answering the questions the person who was there before was asking?
Yeah.
You know? Because when a contract is about to terminate or expire or end, and you got to tender again, if it's a different person sitting on the other side of the table, you can't assume that they're looking for the same kind of thinking as the person who was there before. Number one, their business is probably speaking to different group of people. The people that you are speaking to in that room are different.
Yeah.
So if you're not changing now, would say what's new, what's happening out there, you're sticking to the tried and tested. The tried and tested might not work for this guy because it won't work for the person that he's trying to solve for on the other side.
Sure.
It's like, I mean, Big U.
Yeah.
We didn't sell as in rand money. We didn't exchange with consumers money. Reckitt Benckiser didn't exchange money with consumers. They exchanged money with customers.
Yes.
Your retailers, right? but you advertise to the consumers.
Yes.
So, as much as you're speaking to the consumers, this is what consumer likes, therefore this is what you should buy. What are these guys looking for?
Yeah.
You need to solve for consumers, but what are these guys also looking for? So now, if you're doing as a supplier now, you're coming to a corporate FMCG. So yeah, I understand what these guys are looking for, but what are the people that they are selling to looking for as well? That whole link. It's okay, fine. If that person at the end of the chain has changed, because times have changed, I mean, these millennials and generation whatever's, they have changed. I'm sure then the people that I'm servicing, their target is also moved. I need to move.
Yeah.
I need to move.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
I need to move.
Yeah. Sure. Man, such a wealth of wisdom. All right, lastly, words of wisdom. All right. You've grown in your career and built a lot of pedigree.
Yeah.
You've worked for the best of the best, on the biggest of the brands. I mean, I don't know how many passports you've run out of now, but you've traveled all over Africa, negotiating on all kinds of big scales. What does it take, to get to that level, stay at that level, and really excel at that level? And what keeps you going? I can imagine there are days that are tough. There are days where things don't go your way, but where do you draw strength from to move forward? And any advice you would give to an entrepreneur or someone who's looking to build a career in the procurement space, what kind of things should they be looking at, and what kind of mindsets should they be thinking about developing?
So I mean, words of advice, of wisdom, rather.
Yeah.
Wisdom, I don't know, but advice, what's worked for me. So I've got a cousin of mine. He is like a mentor, but very close in terms of age.
Okay.
Doing amazing things, big things, man. Big things. And one thing, so when I was doing my first job out of varsity, Reckitt Benckiser.
Yeah.
I was, slogging away, just going through a very tough time because I was like, hey, I'm a graduate, you know. I should be getting money because I'm qualified.
Yeah.
I'm qualified, you know. And he said to me, whatever you do, there's one thing that is very important as a business, as a career person. You need to work so hard, especially in the beginning of whatever you're doing. So if you win a contract or you get a job, work so hard, deliver so well that when you make a mistake, and I say when because mistakes are happen.
Yeah.
When you make a mistake, the people that you are working for or you are servicing will say, this person made a mistake. Versus, maybe this person was the mistake.
Sure.
That's what he said to me. It's like, whatever you do, work so hard, deliver so well, that people know what you're capable of. So that when you make a mistake, they don't doubt your capabilities. They understand it is a mistake. Not that you are the mistake. And it made a huge difference for me. Because I was like, you know what? Change your mindset. You get in there, you work, you deliver. So that, not that you're going to relax. But when you do drop the ball, you need the client that you're serving to, and I understand him, Z, this was a mistake. I can put my head on that. I believe in them. Let's give them another try. If they believe that you might be the mistake, it's late.
Sure.
If it's your boss and he's confident, hey, Z, Thabo, I know this guy. This was just a mistake. But if they don't know that, maybe this guy was a mistake. Maybe we should have hired the other guy. Maybe we should have appointed that other supplier. It's do it so well, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because then you need to say, this is who I am, this is what I can do. After that, you obviously keep the standard and elevate. But whatever you do, people must say, that was a mistake and not that is the mistake.
Sure. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
For me,
yeah.
that has worked for me. I mean, if I look at how things have progressed for me professionally, at Sasol, I got in there. It was a graduate program over 12 months with that voice of my cousin, speaking to me. I was like, I need to push. Things working out the way they did, organizations changing, opportunities coming up. Within 7 months, I got hired permanently. I was like,
Sure.
But it's that thing of, obviously, yes, things, life happens. The higher power creates opportunities for you to get hired earlier than maybe you should. But you get that opportunity. But because this person is, I think I can back this horse. You get in there. And I dropped some balls at Sasol. But the person I was reporting to was like, I know what you're capable of. That was a mistake. Let's move. Pick yourself up. Let's move. Unilever, when I got the same thing. Deliver, because they don't know you.
Yeah.
You advertise yourself. But when you need to deliver, so, I know this person's good. You drop a ball, like, yeah, but I know what they can do. This is out of character. Same thing here, when I joined. Until a person can say, no. Yeah, this person, I can bet this horse. You make a mistake, you will always make a mistake.
Yeah.
But they will be able to say, no, me, I'll take responsibility as this person's leader. Or if it's a supplier that's dropped the ball, as the person who was being serviced by this company, I'll take responsibility. I back this company. I back this business. It was out of character.
Sure.
They can deliver here. Personally, for me, that's been it. And then that whole thing about talent. Don't work at your 3. You're wasting time.
Yeah.
Time is very important.
Yeah.
Getting your 3 to a 6. Oof. Getting your 6 to a 10. Same amount of effort. Probably easier if you're working on your strength.
Yeah.
Then bring people towards you whose strengths are your weaknesses.
Sure.
You move further, you move very far. So it's those two things for me. I mean, I've always said, if I need help, with something, I speak to as many people as I can from different walks of life, because what they've experienced somewhere might build into maybe I'll use this to solve this problem at work or something. So going at it alone will not always get you far. Bring those people closer, because they might be a 7 where you are a 3.
Sure.
But then when you bring that finished package to a client, do they know that you're subcontracting? They don't know. But you've got that offering, you've got the skill, you're delivering the full package. If you're an employee, you've got a certain weakness that you have. But you know what? You know that there's a person in the business you've built a relationship with. So when you need help with an Excel spreadsheet, VLOOKUP, macro, what, hey, tell my guy, can you just help me with this thing? Because at the end of the day, you need to present something. There's an output that is required. You don't know how to do this thing. If you try to do it, it's going to take you 4 hours. If I walk up to Thabo, I've got a great relationship with him. He's a genius with this kind of things. Does it in 30. At the end of the day, I've got an extra 2.5 hours to work on what I'm good at, so that I'm presenting the output.
Yeah.
It's top notch.
Sure.
You try to do it yourself, you're going to spend time, the product won't be the same. Jewish community, if I'm building a house, I'm going to go find the best person to do this thing. Collaboration, and work so hard very, very early, so you don't become a mistake when you make a mistake. You just made a mistake.
Yeah.
Those two things for me have taken...
Words to live by.
Have done well for me.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'll continue to do well.
I pray and hope so. I mean, one thing that I realized recently, as a people, generally, race, religion, we are in a time when people think I did that.
Sure.
It was my work. And you come to realize sometimes that how much of it is actually your work, or a combination of things that worked in your favor. Obviously, when the opportunity comes, you need to be ready for it, right? But a lot of things work in your favor for you to achieve something or get something. So sometimes, there's a reason why a company will terminate a contract, right? Then as a business, you need to be ready for that opportunity. When the tender's up, I want to be part of the tender.
Yeah.
But had that company who had that contract before not screwed up, you wouldn't have that opportunity for the tender. There's a reason why you get an opportunity to interview. The person who was there moved on, whether it was by choice or not by choice. But something had to happen for you to get the opportunity. It's not, I did so well, someone just saw me and said, you see I'm creating something for you. They're not creating something for you.
Yeah.
Life worked in your favor, and I think people need to appreciate that.
Sure.
Life worked in your favor to open up an opportunity, but you need to be ready to deliver on that opportunity. Yeah.
Wow, brother. Thank you so much. That is...
No, thank you.
That is amazing. I've learned a lot. Guys. like what Mpumelelo was saying, aka Mz.
Yeah, Mpumelelo. When I young Mpumelelo,
You're in trouble.
Let my mother or something, you know.
But the importance of, you know, just surrounding yourself with people that can empower you, with people that can really elevate your thinking, stretch you, and take you to the next level. You know, we cannot stress it enough. And you've had the privilege of sitting in and listening into a conversation with someone who is really walking the walk and doing amazing things. So I urge you, if you can, watch this again and again and again. It's one of those videos you want to refer to, because there's so many nuggets of wisdom that are so practical, yet can revolutionize your career and your business and really take you to the next level. So, you know, I'm greatly inspired, and there's so many things that I can't wait to really also apply in my life, but more importantly, you know, take it to more people out there to really take their businesses and themselves to the next level. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this just as much as I have. Make sure that if you're offline, you switch on, and like I keep trying to tell you, promise you, it's gonna be a movie. One love.